For 7 years, Pat Bailey and her siblings were caregivers during their mother's Alzheimer's battle. Bailey took what she learned during those years and turned it into lessons and resources for others who are now in her position. Fox 4's Sean Rabb learns more in this week's Here and Now conversation.
Having a conversation with nationally renowned caregiver coach, Pat Bailey, just the idea that you are a caregiver coach means we have to learn as family members how to be caregivers for others.
You know, it's interesting that you leaned in with the definition of coach, which I think is particularly powerful. But yes, we do now need to understand how to care for our parents, and in doing so, learn to care for ourselves. It's no longer inherent.
Right, and especially when it comes to debilitating illnesses like Alzheimer's.
Where there is Alzheimer's, there is caregiving. It's just this duality that exists between the two. And when you understand what it does to the mind, to the family, we're going to have to gird ourselves differently, because we've got 6.7 million people in the United States now that are addressing Alzheimer's. We have what is estimated as 11 million people that are caring for the elderly. We have got to understand that this subject of caregiving is now going to be the pathway all of us are going to have to navigate in our lives today. You know what, Sean? I would say this. There was one thing for us to be prepared to love on our parents as they would age gracefully. It's a different thing to love on our parents when they are in the midst of forgetting that we even ever existed. That's problematic.
Yes, and difficult for the caregiver to understand and accept as well without some training, coaching. Okay, this is what your nonprofit, Finding New Tomorrows, is all about.
We help corporations, ministries, families, and individuals learn how to age well together. Where do you go to learn to take care of an adult on a switch that goes like this?
And so tell me how people can find Finding New Tomorrows.
Well, there's a couple ways I would love for people to engage with us. Number one, they can go to our website, findingnewtomorrows.com, and access various resources that are there, talks that are there, prayers that are there, by the way. You can also find us on social media. I'm known on social media as at Caregiver Coach Pat Bailey.
This past weekend, 26th, you had the National Day of Caregiver Prayer. This was a nationwide 4-hour really prayer service.
This was corporations, this was pastors, these was individuals. We brought together a curated list of music to have an opportunity to listen to the crying out of God's people on, I'm caring for my mom, I'm caring for my dad. Can't we just take a moment in time as a nation, as a body of believers, and just pray?
Where can the National Day of Prayer for Caregivers be found again, Pat Bailey?
So you can continue to watch the National Caregiver Day of Prayer on YouTube, literally under Finding New Tomorrows. How about that? You can still also see it on our social pages, on Facebook at Caregiver Coach Pat Bailey. We're not taking it down. We're going to be encouraging people for the next year.
Caregiver Coach Pat Bailey, thank you for the compassion to help others through this journey.
God bless you, Sean Rabb. I really appreciate you giving me this opportunity.
All right, more information. Visit findingnewtomorrows.com. There are free resources and more available there. You can also find Bailey on social media at the Caregiver Coach Pat Bailey.